Education is the
And
key.
that lovely voice, as you can, we can nicely bring it in as an introduction, is Miss Seraye Ethiopia herself.
Hey, what up?
Kill Bill, did you watch it, Seraye?
I did with
What'd
the
you think of
blonde
it?
lady, Uma
yeah.
Thurman or something
Uma
like
Thurman, yes, the legend.
that. Is it? She was alright, isn't it? I don't know.
What's that dance they do?
But do you remember the film?
No, not,
They did
not
the
at all.
dancing
Where she was a
one.
killer or something, isn't it?
Yeah.
And she was just killing, like, was she an assassin?
I'm thinking.
Step up or something.
No, I'm
Step Up the
thinking
Dance.
with no.
Different
She's in a
era.
different film.
That's
with,
a different era
Superhero,
altogether.
super
No,
John
girlfriend.
Travolta.
Yeah, that's the film. I'm
That's a
saying.
different
What
era.
film was
man.
that?
That was Face Off. No,
No.
Disco something.
Face Off,
No.
no.
Hold on.
Face Off isn't Face Off with the
Face Off is John Travolta and
that
not.
Cage guy,
Yeah,
Nicolas
but-
Cage.
Nicolas Cage. That's the one.
This is the famous dance scene with Uma Thurman and John Travolta, which I believe
Pulp
is
Fiction.
Pulp Fiction. That's it.
Boom.
Is
There
it
you
Pulp
go.
Fiction?
See what I mean? Like,
I haven't seen it. It was a bit boring. I'm not
Was it
gonna lie.
Pulp Fiction?
it is Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
So it was a scene from Pulp Fiction. Okay,
Yeah.
that's interesting. But yes, thank you for joining us, Seraye. Yeah, it's long overdue, isn't it?
100%. I don't know why you didn't call me earlier.
I know, right?
I feel gutted.
I told him to call you.
Innit? I know. You got my back, Sam. I know you got it.
Yeah.
You know, yeah.
Those
the
two, they had a
translation.
conversation. I don't know what happened.
Exactly. We didn't
That's
know.
the
Yeah.
house conversation.
But it was nice. It was nice that we came together, and I'm sure Sam will, plug his own stuff in due time. But yeah, I know you two worked on something together. And you guys are friends, right? You go way back.
I mean, yeah. It's what it is. I
long.
know, Sam.
Yeah.
I mean,
At one
How
point,
long
they were
has it
competing
been,
against
bro?
each other.
Oh,
I
yeah.
was- no,
events.
no.
Yeah.
Events.
Events,
no.
yeah.
I
No.
think you stopped doing
I
events
stopped.
when we started.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
stopped.
yeah.
I mean,
I was-
your background is in events. Right?
Yeah.
You
Do you know what it is? It's not. It's like I used to do community events. So my background's in charity, international development.
Okay.
So I used to do charity events for a long time, and then we thought, oh, you know what? There's not a lot of Habesha raves going on that are good or up to our standard. We
Right.
should do it. I'm not gonna lie.
She technically took shots at your boy right now. She took shots at someone.
You like didn't do lots of rave. You like used to play in Dahalak and stuff, innit?
No,
That's
do you know,
alright,
no.
bro.
Do you know what? Listen, this is
She took shots right now already.
Names are getting called. Let's move past it smoothly. Look at it, Sam.
Is this where I'm supposed to get angry? What do you mean that? Nah, listen,
Exactly.
it's a completely different thing.
Yeah.
Listen, we support our sisters, whatever they do. We're here for the
100%.
support.
And
do you
now
know
we're
what?
here. Now we're here. Like
They're the
this.
only girls that
Exactly.
were doing it out there. And then
100%.
big up to them.
Amen to that. Yeah.
Yeah.
How that's take us back a bit. What was it? Was it hard? Is it difficult? Like as a
It was.
because it's a male dominated in events, right?
Do you know what? I feel like the fact that we were women doing it, the other girls were happy. They were like, what, females are doing it? All right, cool, we'll go. And then guys were like, females doing it. There's going to be other females. Can we go? Because usually the women to men ratio is a bit
It's a bit nicer when they're
too many man, too many. Yeah, comes to mind.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, it was good. It was hard. And lots of promotion and adding people and talking to people. And it was good. Like, we're still getting up to today. Like, people are still hollering and saying, when's the next one? But
Would you say you're a
life
people
takes.
person. You have
I
to be in that.
I
industry,
thought
yeah.
you meant me.
No.
Yeah. We are. I
Be
feel
in
like
that
we all are. And I feel like we had a sense of we knew what we wanted. So when you're going to a party, you know what you want. You know the vibes, you know the music. And we brought that. And our DJs were bagging. Like, our DJs were mad.
Sam.
Was it DJ a woman though?
No, they were Filipino guys.
It would have been good if it was a woman though, innit? The whole everything. You
It
said
would've-
about women
it would've
by
been.
now, If it was a woman DJ, it would have been lit.
Yes,
Are
true.
there women DJs about? I know there's one or two
There
Habesha
are.
ones.
There are
Is it?
now.
Yeah.
I mean, I think there is.
Around the world.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, of course, man. There's women in high places now. I think. But at the time, that was a few years ago, wasn't it? I mean,
Yeah,
to be fair,
mate, it was
right?
like, over 4 years ago, 5 years
Is that how long
ago.
ago?
Yeah, before
Wow.
I had my son. So
Time flies.
Yeah, now.
Right, it's true.
Yeah, speaking of
My
which,
son is
2
grown.
kids.
yeah.
Look at I raised him, bro. I
See, I can tell, man.
But yeah, how's it like being a mum?
Being a
Coming
mum
away
is
from that.
it's busy, man. It's
Yeah.
it's non-stop, and then I'm working full time, so it's just balancing it. And kids are a blessing.
You don't
but,
get asked that a lot, right? Like, how are you? What people just say, just like, how are you doing as a mum?
Yeah,
kind of thing, right?
and the thing is, I feel like
'Cause you're
even if you
busy.
get asked it, you don't know how to answer the question, right? Because you're always used to being on point and on the ball. So you're like, yeah, I'm good. But then when you get 5 minutes, you're like, rah, am I good though? So mental health is wealth.
Definitely.
So anyone
More
who's
so.
got
More so now than ever.
a wife, a girlfriend, anything, just ask them, how are you? Take the kids. 5 minutes, bro. 5 mintes helps, literally.
Ask everyone how they are.
Dude, yeah. Not
How are
even.
you?
Oh, yeah.
No, you even do you know what? Even mental health for men as
Yeah.
well, and it's
Yeah.
needed,
Shit.
especially
Do
nowadays.
you think it gets separated when
What's
that,
that?
debate comes up? It's like mental health for men, mental health for women. We get, rather than looking at it as a bigger picture, like to say.
100%. But do you know what it is? It's
human,
also about
it's human
community.
instinct,
It's
isn't it?
community, innit?
Yeah.
It's like women, we're vocal in it. If we're going through something, you're gonna know.
Yes, that's
but
true.
men,
You're gonna
they-
let us know.
But men, it's not like that. And then when you
It's
with
true.
mental health, like. It's hard for guys to talk about it, right? Because if you're talking about, if you're saying, "Oh, I got, I feel depressed, I feel suicidal, I feel this," it's like, bruv, man up, innit?
Yeah,
You're man.
with
You
the
shouldn't be
man
feeling
them
like, innit?
in
Why
that,
you
yeah.
acting dumb for?
But it's a society. If you're gonna chat about mental health, I think male itself we have. I don't know what it is. Whatever is the ego is very. I think it depends on your circle. So it depends who makes you comfortable to talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you tell him, I think every human being they got a struggle with mental state.
Yeah.
But who makes
At
you
some
feel?
point or another. they
Yeah,
have
who
some-
makes you feel comfortable to talk about it? I mean, we all go through struggle in life. There's no
100%.
human being doesn't go through struggle in life. The problem is our surrounded. Do they make us feel comfortable, or do we get judged how we feel? As a man, sometimes we get judged. If you're a strong character, you think, "Oh, this guy can't be weak or can't be seen weak." So there's a pressure on you to think, you know what? I got to project myself to be a certain type of person.
Yeah.
You know.
But
So
isn't that the stereotype that the
Yeah.
you know, the man provides, the black man is there, so you're not supposed to show that side.
yes, it is, and then I think it's a bit bullshit because we should be able to speak. I think it's a progress when you talk with honesty how you feel.
Yeah.
It shows progress to me, and it makes you a better, stronger person. I don't know, like most, I don't know what you think, but to me, it's a person who speaks emotionally with honesty is a person who wants to progress in life. You're facing your demons and you're facing your problems, and the more you face your problem, the more easy it is to deal with anything that comes your way.
Let me ask all three of you something.
I was about to say something.
Okay, go.
before you say that.
Go.
What you said about people are scared to speak to all their friends, but I believe that everyone will have that one friend they can speak to. You don't have to tell all your friends. All you need to do is speak to one friend. But go ahead.
No, but that literally leads to what I was going to say. Because I was saying, with you guys, let's say if you guys were going through a situation where you might feel depressed or anxiety,
Situation,
or,
a lituation.
do you have someone in your life that you can talk to? Do you feel like you have that someone there? Be it your boy, family, whatever,
I
girl.
do.
Yeah.
These
I think-
fuckers, bro.
I think you find that out
Yeah.
early in the stage. I think sometimes you might tell people and then
Your day
them-
ones.
They might look at it different, or they say, "Oh, man up," but then you're gonna tell someone else once, and you probably have a good conversation with him. Then you will know who that person is. Everyone's got that one person that can call.
Yeah.
It could be about women, money, it could be about anything.
I think
But I think you should not tell everyone.
Yeah,
I feel like
yeah.
you should just speak to one person. Maybe
You think you shouldn't iron out your dirty laundry in public? You mean?
It doesn't be dirty, but yeah,
Not everyone is there to help you, innit?
yeah. People want
Some
want to see
people are
that.
there to. That's true. Yeah.
you know what it is? I believe when you're older, it's a bit easier. When you have, because of a certain age, you realize who your true friends are. So it's easy to talk about it. So if we take it a little bit back when you're younger, so I'll look at my experience. When I was a bit younger, I would, if I had any problem, I'll probably draw into myself.
Yeah.
So I had this pressure where I feel I don't want to disturb anybody's mood, or I don't want to burden someone with my problem. So I would go into myself, lock myself in to find out what the situation is, what the problems are. So I think it depends what age, where you are in life. That's what I think.
But also to do with that as well is when you're younger, you feel like no one's got time for you. But when you got older, and then you got people saying to you, if you need anything, a shoulder to cry on, or someone to speak to,
Yeah.
you just get that reassurance as you get older. But when you're younger, I think you will never have you will never go to a conversation that would lead to them saying, "Yeah, you can always chat to me." You'll always be scared to speak to someone, and then you just, that makes sense.
No, 100%, man.
But yeah,
Very much so.
Mad.
It's you know what it is? It's when I'm a bit older than you lot, right? So when we
Yeah,
were
yeah.
young, yeah, it's,
I'm catching up. Don't watch that.
it's you know what it is?
Two decades.
Things are more vocal now when it comes to mental health. Years ago,
And so it
it's-
should be as
yeah,
well. Yeah.
years ago is if a man complain is man up,
Yeah.
man up. Do you get what I'm saying to you? It's man up. Don't be a pum pum, man up. Yeah. Don't be
loves that
no.
word.
Don't be a pussy or man up.
Loves that word.
No,
Yeah.
We're gonna repeat it.
I've seen
You have
it.
so many sponsorship opportunities. I love you, bro.
Looking for it.
something
Go on,
random,
go on.
yeah.
No, yeah.
If you add the color yellow and purple together, what color does it make?
I don't know.
I'm not gonna say
lie.
nothing.
Yeah, we already we're 3/4 away from being a Power Rangers. People send in the last hoodies.
No, sorry, Sam.
We're one color.
We can't keep it real with these
Do
people.
you know
here.
what color it makes? Okay.
Remember.
As you were speaking, I was looking both.
We
of
look
them.
like a packet of Haribos.
But yes,
I don't know, man. Let's just, you know what? Going back, in the old days, because it wasn't vocal, we didn't have the social media, so you didn't have a place where you can talk.
You had youth
or-
clubs though.
You did have youth.
Yeah.
but
Youth
even-
clubs were the
No, but
one,
that's
man.
the best thing about what we had. We had youth clubs. Youth clubs were amazing.
Yeah, of
course.
I think the kids today are
They miss
missing
out
out
on
on
that.
the best thing of youth clubs. Youth clubs used to be.
Yes and no.
Sam, finish your point. You were saying
Yes and no, because you know what? Youth club to me was, I loved youth club was my life, right? Youth club was my house.
I know the one.
But,
You went to the
yeah.
same one, probably.
The thing was, can you really go to a youth club and let your emotion out?
100%.
Can you cry?
100%.
Not to everyone.
Not to everyone.
everyone,
Yeah.
yeah.
Worker.
Yeah.
There's some youth
So-
workers there. They're trained
for
for
real.
situations like this.
Where if I can speak to my experience, maybe I was around macho guys.
That's it. Yeah.
What about
that's
you
right.
youth workers though? The ones that work.
If,
in
even the
youth
youth worker, because you know what it is?
clubs? To me, they were helpful, man.
It was-
They were
man.
brilliant
Kept
to
us
me,
out-
man.
kept us out of
Like,
trouble.
I was, you know what? The best thing happened to me in my life was, it was.
Meeting me, huh? Okay. Joking.
so modest.
I thought I'd throw it in.
No, honestly, it was in the youth work after school. And then there was a guy called Leroy. I'm always gonna love him. Because,
Leroy?
Yeah. No, honestly, do you know what? I used to love football so much. This guy bought me an Arsenal ticket. My first
That is
ever
nice.
going to Arsenal Stadium.
Here we
was,
go. This is
He
your
went
key.
and took me. No, honestly.
We saw the pictures.
My key for
Yeah,
you saw the
that
video.
wasn't that's when I played. But this is just to watch Arsenal, and I was in primary school, and then he gave me that father figure. Do you know what I mean? He gave me that little mental state.
Okay, cool. Then you said youth clubs are good and bad.
Yeah,
How can
so
you be
why
bad
would that,
after you
innit?
gave us
No.
one of the best?
Innit?
Yeah.
No, hold
that
on.
makes no sense.
No.
He's gonna give
All
you
right,
a-
hold on.
No, give
Let
us
me
the back.
finish.
Go on.
Meaning, as a man, I
Or
couldn't.
memeing. Or memeing.
Meaning, yeah, I couldn't go. Maybe I had a problem at home where I felt uncomfortable, where I couldn't go and release what I really felt because I felt like I have to be this character.
Yeah.
Leroy, you
No,
said he was
yeah.
a father figure.
Yeah,
to
it
you.
was.
So you
But
could
he-
spoke to Leroy, but you never knew you can speak to him.
No, I knew I could
You probably
speak to
could
him.
have,
I
but you
could
didn't
have.
want to.
But I'll tell you
Yeah.
what it was. I'll tell you what it was, Mus. It was where I felt if I showed him my weaker side, I'm not
gonna
living
lose
his
his respect.
expectation. I'm
You're
going to
gonna
lose
lose
his
his
respect.
Nah, but
That's what you
know
feel.
You know what's crazy though? He probably saw your weakest side.
He probably did.
He was waiting for you to speak to
Yeah.
him, but you didn't. But
Yeah,
he,
but
let's see
imagine
it. I don't
real.
a
That's
9
real,
years
bruv.
old, 8 years old, don't know nothing.
Yeah.
It's hard for you to think. Now I'm an adult. I'm thinking different. So you're thinking different now. But at 9, it's a
That's the
bit
beauty of
different.
hindsight. You can look back and think.
Yeah, it's different. It's very different.
But
So you can see the importance of a youth club now. right?
Absolutely, yes,
Sometimes it's
absolutely.
big importance,
A-
man.
absolutely. And I think the social media takes that away from people. And
youth clubs.
no, it takes away from. There's no youth club no more.
The
Hey, that's that.
government at the time took it away, man. They came in.
The way they stopped the funding
shut
for
down.
that.
That's the
stopped
thing.
the funding straight away. Let's keep.
They
it
need to reinstate.
There you
But
go.
but in saying that, why are we always relying on the government to do something for us?
Because realistically,
No,
do you know
it was
people?
a service
do you know-
provided by them in the first place.
Not everyone knows someone that knows someone that will create funding. Know how
Exactly.
expensive it is to run a youth club. It's
Listen,
expensive, not cheap, you know.
I understand that, but you know what? Sometimes if you know something happened, I don't believe in wasting your energy and complaining about it. Oh, we don't do this. Why don't we come up with a solution? Why don't we do something about it?
Listen, the solution is raising some money to start it. And if you start in one area, you can't start one area. You probably have to start it. In
But isn't that what community projects are about? Which, of course, leads us nicely onto what you do, Seraye. Well done, people. We got it. We got there. We got the segue.
No, but you know what,
your
like-
background is in. Correct me if I'm wrong. What you
Like,
do is
so I work for a homeless prevention charity, and we work with young people, and we give them financial education. So before they move into their new place, you know, make them aware of debt, of scams, money mules, and all of these kind of things.
so get them ready for the real world.
Yeah, because a lot of them, like, I'm not gonna lie, like when you bring them to the court, they're like, I know about money, like I legit, I'm clued up, like I know Wagwan. What are you gonna tell me? And then
At
they,
what age they think they know it?
Right,
At
literally,
16,
so we work with 16 to 25-year-olds,
Mm.
and they come and then they're like, whoa, I didn't know that. And like, there's so many things that are going on, but going about community centres, remember, as Mus said about funding is key, right? Where do you get funding? You get it from the local councils, you get it from other, you know,
I've investors.
yeah, other charity bodies and stuff like that. But you have to sell it. It's a product, right? They don't, not in a bad way, they don't really care about what you got to offer, the benefits it has for the community. But then again, you have to realize as well, if you're going to say, all right, I want to open a community center in, I'm going to throw an area, let's say Brixton or something. And then they'll say, all right, but if you're going to open it
Should
there.
have said Wood Green. It would have been funnier, but.
Well, I don't
Brixton though.
did.
Said Wood Green. Go, sorry.
He still plugged the joke.
Private joking, I get it. But no, but
Yeah.
they'll look at the area, they'll say,
Yeah.
all right, if we put it
Hilarious.
here, can it generate funding? Do you get it? Because they want anything that you do, they want it to be self-efficient after a
Yeah,
while.
of course.
But
It's about the moolah, baby.
Yeah.
Of
That's the
course.
thing.
At the end of the day, it's about the moolah.
and there's only so much you can ask the community to do, right? So you know, like with that whole like where there was a lot of paedophiles coming out chasing young girls and stuff. There's a lot of people within the community that are now roaming the streets to make sure that that the youngsters are going from A to B safely.
I've heard a couple of stories.
Yeah, like there's a-
where
I
they sort
can't-
of street warden type.
Exactly. So
Yeah,
there's
I see a
a
video of
group,
that.
bro.
That's
There's a
brilliant,
group that
man.
my sister
That's
knows. I will
amazing,
send
man.
you the name so you
Yeah.
can plug it as well.
That's
And they
amazing,
literally
yeah.
go to every end and they talk to the parents.
us a name
They
and
talk
we'll
to
put it at the bottom,
So they're doing. There's so many people doing good things, but
Yeah. We don't hear
But
enough of those stories.
That's the start.
Yeah,
But if
yeah.
you want to take it to another level, it involves money.
100%.
hard,
Yeah.
And not a lot of people make a lot of good money for them to give away £100 a month. That's still stress for some family
Yeah,
members.
yeah.
But
I mean, funding. Let's be honest, man. It was a big. It impacted not having youth clubs around to to the extent that we have them. There's non-existent. I would almost say.
I can't
of one.
think of any.
I
To
think
be honest.
now, and if they do, they called something else. I mean,
youth
they
clubs?
do.
Yeah.
there's one in King's Cross, but I
Yeah.
think that's funded. I don't know how that's funded, but
I mean,
that's the only one I know.
They do community projects, which are like pop-up
Yeah.
projects, isn't it? It's not long-lasting. It's not in the roots. It's not in the community like the youth clubs used to be.
So like I grew up in Newton Green and we had a Mildmay community centre. Wicked, like
What community?
Mildmay. It's called the Mildmay. That's the name of it, Mildmay.
Okay.
Mildmay Community Centre, and like literally, it was like
Interesting, yeah.
the youth workers were amazing. Like everyone, there was a sense of community. We'll get together, do whatever we do. Had that ability, but then now it's completely changed. So I thought they it's become very modern, let's say.
Yeah.
Not like how it used to be. So I took my son there because they had like some football for youngsters, and I went and I felt so detached because I was like I literally lived over there and I came here and now it's like it doesn't look like the same place.
Yeah.
So even the people
Not
in the
how you
area,
remember it,
but
right?
if even people in the area that are living there, growing up there, they can't go there, so they don't have that sense of community, right?
Yeah.
So it's like it's
It's
all
the
well and
attachment,
good.
though. If they don't have that attachment, it
No,
gets
but
lost,
it's
doesn't
does
it?
the community centres or the places that are there available for them cater to them, right?
Yeah.
It's about catering to their needs. If you're not catering to their needs and you're saying, oh no, we're gonna learn how to cook. Let's make avocado on toast or let's make a Scotch bonnet or whatever. You know, whatever it
Sam would be
is.
there in the youth clubs teaching them.
It's nice, but do you know what I mean? But whereas you're not teaching them life skills, you're not
It's
teaching
true.
them things that
We're
they
not
need.
preparing them for life, which is in line with what you do. So
Yeah.
that's some brilliant stuff. So you're, it's like she's getting them ready for the real world almost, isn't it?
No, but you know what it is, It's you're talking about funding and getting the community together.
Yeah.
But there was a community when there was no funding. If you go back to the 40s, the 30s, the 50s, the 60s,
that
right?
money?
No, there was no money. There was no funding, right?
How do you know?
No, because the black community, for example, they came from the Caribbean, they came from Africa, and they were together. There was no funding. There was nothing. But the community was strong. Do you get what I'm saying to you? We were strong. So why do we always have to go back and rely on the funding? Why can't we go back to the essence and bring the community together?
Yeah, but there's so many things going on, right? There's so many branches now. Like there's different postcodes, there's different ends, there's different whatever. You're from this country, you're from that, you're from this, and it's all of these things that are separating us, right? Back in the day, it wasn't like that. It was like, right, you're another black person. Yes, my brother, my sister. Now it's different, right? So what would you be able to do to fix that?
To me, it
Not
always.
you, bruv. You guys.
Yeah.
Tell me.
Do you know what? Can I be honest with you? I feel like we had a different type of struggle when we grew up. Our struggle was like you said, there was togetherness and communityness and like, okay, but remember that stemmed from being black and like being oppressed. And I don't want to take it too deep, but that's what you have in common. If I look at, I'm sure if two brothers looked at each other in the 80s in the alleyway, they'd be like, yo, my brother, how are you, this, that. But now it's like a random thing. We almost take it for granted. You know what I mean? There isn't that like, yeah, we're in this together type of thing. You know what I mean? The hunger for the struggle. Now, I'm not saying there isn't a struggle, but it's a different type of struggle.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
generation might be going through a different type of racial struggle. So maybe we don't get it to that sense because it was a different era for us. Do you
I
know
think
what
there's a
mean?
mental issue.
But maybe, I don't know, Musa's a bit younger than us. He can
He's
chime
not,
in.
he's not that young, you know.
He's a
He's
little
not
bit
that
younger than
young.
us. Will's not here. So.
He's not that young.
We should explain why Will's not here as well. Will's taking a leave off. You know what I mean? Annual leave, yeah.
For what reason though?
But we'll get him back in next week.
Check his baby mother.
He said that. But yeah, that was rude of us. Yeah, Will be back next week.
No,
But,
you know what?
sorry,
I
guys,
think
back in
it's
the
a
same-
mental
go for it.
struggle that we go through. Do you know what I never understood? Right?
Yeah.
It's you have to have a mental issue. I've seen this happen when I was growing up. I don't know if it still happen. You lot can tell me. Young kids, mainly dominant in the black community, they walk in the street, they look at each other, and then they will go, "Why are you looking at me?" And the beef starts. Are you telling me that's normal?
That's not normal. Of course it's not.
No, I want to hear you guys' opinion.
What do you say?
Like two people walking in the street, right?
Yeah.
Two black kids.
Just say it's a dirty look, man. Just call it.
Why you
Two
look?
kids.
Yeah.
Don't say black kids.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, say two
but
kids. Well done.
no, I want to keep.
correct.
No, I'm not. I'm not gonna keep it real.
All right.
That happened dominantly mainly black kids.
Okay, cool.
Right? Let's
So
keep
what
it
is
real.
your scenario
So
now?
my scenario is they walk in the street across from each other, other way around. They look at each other. Why are you screwing at me?
Okay.
Beef starts.
Okay.
Right? To me, that's a mental issue. Why am I gonna look at next man thinking, why are you looking at me, and then I'm gonna start a beef? And I want to hear what you guys think of it because I grew up in that environment thinking, I used to get confused. I don't know if I did it looking back, but
You might have done those.
maybe I did it
Because
So-
we all would.
Yeah.
If you screw someone, you
You know
give them
though,
one
Yeah.
dirty
like,
look.
again, yeah.
You don't mean to give the guy a dirty look. Maybe you had a shit day,
Like-
but you're just walking past each other. Do you know what I mean?
You
And
look at
then-
it so many different ways. Yeah, with the younger kids now, like for example, if I went to a youth club back in the day, to the youth club, and I was screwing my face at all the other kids, eventually the youth worker will talk to me. Listen,
Yeah.
this is not how you go about
you aside,
here.
yeah.
Maybe with them, they have their own beef.
They don't
So
have
already they're power already with the whole situation. So they're walking down the street power. So now someone might just look at them. They might just think this guy's screwing me. So you get what I'm trying to say to you? So how it can look that situation can happen. So when you was growing up, maybe it was different. But now, for example, you probably back in the day they would have like
Remember, it's a
Camden.
postcode thing as well.
Yeah,
A
back in the day it was like boroughs maybe.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
now it's
say
you could be from here.
How do you
Boroughs,
There could be beefing here.
Yeah.
So already they're gonna be like not screwed.
Like on edge. Do you think people are on edge? That's it. Everyone's on edge.
Everyone's on the
24/7
defensive.
Yeah.
on edge.
You're on defensive.
Going to school is probably not going to school for like 6 hours. It's probably the time where they're not on edge for 6 hours.
Yeah,
Then
yeah,
after
yeah.
school, edge. So that's the difference.
And
That's
plus,
why
like,
that
if you had
that's why that
beef
situation
in
happens
school,
more.
you knew you had beef because it was on at 3:30. It was like
No, it's on.
3:30, mate. It was on. Squashed, boom. You go around the corner, you rock it out, then you like
It's
let
looking.
you banter it. Do you know what I mean? Like there wasn't.
I
that
never had
madness.
beef, man.
I feel like it's next
Never had
level
beef.
here, bro.
Never,
No,
Only with my
level
sister,
and the
maybe.
struggle.
But
never fought a girl in the street.
nah, babes, never. Nah,
I
yeah.
don't believe you.
Nah,
You're a
never.
Good girl, good girl.
Innit?
Oh my
That's nothing.
word. Look at that.
Probably spoke out of it like.
That's
Arms house.
it's arms out.
Arms house. No, I didn't get it. You know what? The other thing that I never understood was
Yeah.
people fighting for postcode. Do you know what?
But
You
that's-
guys,
yeah.
you guys,
That's
can,
a yeah.
you guys.
more
That's a,
recent.
that's a deeper situation.
No, it's never deeper for me because you know why?
That's more
That's-
recent.
You live in a council flat, right?
Yeah,
Check
doesn't
this out. You live in a council flat. You don't own, right?
Yeah.
You're defending a postcode you don't own. What are you defending? I never got it. I never understood it. I never believed
you're
it.
defending-
When I was a younger, I would go, do you know what? It's weird in my situation. I lived in Camberwell. I went to school in South Camden. I used to travel back
is
and forth.
it?
Yeah. So
You should
between
get a visa to come.
yeah,
to
I used to get
G-checking.
I used to get caught up.
Where you forgo, man?
No, I'm telling you, I'm in Camden. They'll tell me where you live. I'm like South London. They'll get confused.
Yeah, yeah,
so I'm
yeah.
thinking. I grew up thinking.
But there was that madness though, innit, back in the day.
Why?
But
Also-
of course there was a north. That whole, I don't think it's still as
Also,
much
yeah.
now. Now it's more rooted in something.
Also, it was a
else.
postcode beef.
Before it
Sam.
was like a south.
That could been happening from
even
generation
then-
before that.
No, it wasn't though.
Yeah, some kids.
Let's go
No,
back.
wait,
If you're gonna talk about generation,
Wait, whoa.
never existed.
Listen, last week I was so good. Listen, it's you because you're back. Some people are born into their postcode beef, you know. And sometimes
Explain to people who may.
They're
not
born to
explain.
dumbness.
No, wait,
No,
wait,
no.
I don't care.
No,
You're
no,
born to
let him
dumbness.
explain, let him explain.
It's
and
the
then
only
let the
way
people-
if-
what's-
go on.
explain what you mean by that to people who are watching.
Oh,
who don't know what you mean by that,
example,
including myself.
imagine
When you say born into it,
imagine you're from this area, whatever this area is, yeah, and this area's got beef with this area for not decades,
right?
yeah. As you're born in that area, and you said as a young black person in this area, yeah,
And you grow up.
and you're growing up with the kids in that area, and you become friends with some of the guys there, yeah, and they're going through their past all the time, you be not a customer. You would eventually.
You put a product of your environment.
Yeah, you eventually
basically
will inherit that beef. That beef will come. That you didn't even want the beef, but one, it will come like these guys from the other area will come all the time to mug you off.
Yeah.
And eventually your pride is gonna say, you know what, fuck that. I'm gonna be on it, and it starts. Sometimes you can't help it. And that's why a lot of people. That's why a lot of people become rich and then move out the ends. Why?
But there's also
Why do people do that?
You know what?
Why do people do that?
No, I get
Why do
that
people
point.
get rich and leave the ends?
They don't want no problem.
point.
They don't want no problem.
No, they don't want their kids to be raised in something and become involved in that life.
That's understandable. In the first place, why are you defending an area postcode?
You're defending yourself and your friends.
No.
Before the
Yeah,
postcode,
it's
I
true,
believe.
it's
I believe you
true.
defend your friends, your friends and yourself first. If you don't defend yourself, what's gonna happen?
No, that's different. Defending yourself. If that's
But it
self-defense.
happens
Yeah,
to be
but
the
that's
postcode.
embedded into it. Do you get it? Because
But
when you're defending
I don't
yourself-
believe I'm talking about in a gang where
Yeah.
I'm from this area. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? I'm from this area. This is what I represent, right? And then you know what? You know what? You can't even influence the area. The government owns the area.
It's a mad
You got nothing, bro.
No, but
they have
you're
no
going-
say
but-
what goes on.
But
You
this-
got
that's not-
no.
it's not
Hold
just-
on.
I
You
think
do have a
it's-
say though.
No, you have no say.
Technically, you have a say because if you walk past my area, I'll tell you to get out of my area and go the other way.
Yeah, listen. Let me tell you
Technically, I
something.
do have a say.
Guess what? The government can come and get you out of the house.
Well,
They
look,
kick you out of the house.
this
you
is,
have
this
no
is,
say.
Sam, this is why we have a lovely expert and guest in house.
I
so
don't
she
know about
can maybe
expert,
explain.
babe. I mean,
but because it's kind of closely tied into what Sam is saying. If the people around them are like that, they become a product of their environment. Then they come to you at that stage, do they? Like
No,
where they
so
look for
the-
reform.
They come to the oldest, yeah.
No,
No,
like
no.
in line of
I
work.
think her
what
line
she
of
does,
work
Seraye.
was-
So. It's getting them ready for. Are you? I'm trying to understand and wrap my head around is what you do is it at before they do the crime or before they get involved?
No,
into
so
that
it's not
life,
even
or is
about
it more-
crime and
Yeah.
stuff.
Or
It's
is it
about
more
it's literally
avoidance?
it's
It's
about
helping
literally
people.
Oh,
it's
it's a
about
charity that just helps
yeah.
you
So
people.
so they before they
Okay.
move into their property,
Right.
So it's just getting them prepared for that, right?
So with
Okay.
the rent, where
Yeah,
you pay
just
bills,
understanding.
Oh,
how
yeah,
to
yeah,
budget
yeah.
your money.
They-
A lot of
they-
people
yeah.
will come into a house
Right.
and they will do something, probably spend
Yeah.
money on something they don't need to,
Yeah.
and they will struggle with bills.
100%
Basically,
get rent
that's what they do
arrears.
for-
All of
Have
these kind of
you
things.
guys lived in a hostel or anything?
No.
I have, and I know how it works.
do.
I lived in a hostel
Yeah.
where it was weird because I was 15 and a half when
Yeah,
I was.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I have to bring that back, innit?
No.
Yeah, hold on, yeah. Listen,
I don't
and then
know, it's not-
they will teach you. And on serious notes, they will teach you. They were teaching me how to pay a bill.
Yeah,
They were
yeah.
teaching me how to use the
course.
washing machine.
We take
they
it
were
for
teaching
granted.
me.
But you was in Victoria in the
Yeah.
club. How would they teach you anything?
Bruv, that's night time. Man, need
Yeah,
knees,
he was
bro.
a different man after 6, innit?
Listen, after 9 o'clock is a different story, right?
Night,
Listen, no, for first year I didn't know what was going on.
Down Trocadero.
Listen, yeah, I didn't know what's going on. No, but
Yes, alright. You know about them things there.
on a serious conversation,
comment.
I appreciate
Go on,
what
Sam.
they do because
Sam.
if it wasn't for someone like Seraye, what they
course,
do,
yeah.
I'll tell you a real story. The first time I moved out my house, the first week, yeah, I forgot the gyro they give you.
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah.
Oh shit,
Yeah,
gyro.
gyro they give you. You know what, Mus? I spent that in one day.
This is the thing.
So
So
you
when you
spend that
get
one
when you
day.
get money,
Yeah.
cool.
You have to respect this people because I spent that one day, Ben. I spent that one day. Guess what? For the next 3-4 days, I didn't have nothing to eat.
yeah,
So
but
we
see,
are
that's the thing.
we are
That's
criminals
money
in the next 3 days.
management, yeah.
We doing some mad stuff in the next 3
I
days.
wasn't, bro. I was praying to God to give me food.
This guy's moving like a lad, Sam. He's trying to move to you like Vlad
no.
TV.
Yo.
Don't answer that question.
No, you can't say that.
No
I can't
comments.
see what you do for the next 3 days. Honestly,
Joking, I'm
No
joking.
comments. No, on a real note,
Yeah, go
I
on.
appreciate people like Seraye because you know what? There was a guy he used to work there. I forgot his name. God bless him. He used to sit us once so he can show us how to spend our money.
Yeah,
And
see,
show us.
yeah.
Finances. how to-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not even deeply in a hard way. But he used to go, do you know what? Because we had to pay £5 a week a rent.
Yeah.
It's nothing. But it's just to teach
But
us
still,
how to.
but yeah.
Exactly.
And we learn how to handle our money. And after 2 months, I learned how to handle my money.
It sounds mad saying me this, but for me, hearing you say that sounds mad to me because I take it for granted. Just
Yeah,
knowing,
yeah.
like, what you should know how to handle your money. Or you should. A lot of us do.
How?
Let's be real. No, I'm saying I'm with you on that
Yeah,
one. But
yeah.
I'm saying it's mad that I'm thinking like that when you said
not all
that.
of us do, though.
Do you know what I mean?
No, but we
it
don't,
comes
but-
naturally to us because maybe we were in a position of privilege where we had parents to teach us that.
Yeah,
Where
yeah.
we had people that around us, but some people who may not have that help, we take it for granted. Is what I'm saying because
Yeah.
like you hearing you say that, I'm like, what? I learned that myself.
But it's not even only that. Like, say for example, like with the courses that the organization teaches and stuff. Like, I've gone on there and I'm just like,
you have yourself,
and because I want to know what they're teaching in it.
Nice.
And I've gone back and I'm like, raw, I didn't know that. And I'm a big 30-something woman with my own yard, paying my bills, and I didn't know a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So for them, it's like at 16, 17, you think as an adult they know Wagwan, but they don't. Yeah. And there's so many things that, you know, the streets will teach them. Whereas, you know, you may not be book smart, you may be street smart.
It's more bad than good.
It's crazy though. I got a friend that has a friend that he does this.
A friend of a friend. Yeah.
Rewind that.
Nah, no names.
Okay, you know what? I'll call him as a friend. Yeah, cool. He does the same thing, but with when I say homeless, it's homeless people, like homeless people. Imagine he was an addict. You get £1,000 a month.
Oh my Jesus.
He has £1,000 a month.
Yeah.
They will set up your account to pay your water bill, your gas.
So like your direct debit will come.
Out of your money that comes to your account.
No, I get that. Yeah, I'm hearing that. But what I'm saying is that means they're not really taking responsibility, innit?
So they set up, basically, they're setting up a direct debit,
which is positive. Don't get me wrong.
But they're
in
not
the
taking
context of thing. But
I'm assuming also they're telling them don't take drugs, don't do this. They're teaching them stuff there.
They must be gradually also work with them to.
Yeah, they don't do that and leave them. They work with them, but they're helping them out.
Because could you imagine if they go from all of that being paid for them all the time, and then all of a sudden they say, okay, you're on your own now, boom. Next day, that money's gone.
But if your direct debit is set up, you're not doing nothing, and it's done, it's set up, innit? You're not worried about it.
But if they're back in control of it, and they're really
but if you're and what they'll probably cancel their direct debit or take out the money and thing. Maybe I used to work for a drug treatment center.
Really?
Yeah.
And like, what is it? Rehabilitation?
Like So, but the thing is, like, some
people come in high though.
Sometimes, you know, it's mad because I used to work in Chelsea, innit? So it's a...
Did you shot at the sign?
So it's high class drugs.
No, I didn't.
Again with the Vlad TV.
Seraye. No, but it's mad because...
We got the questions cleared before we aired. But
I don't think I'm coming back, guys. I'm just saying.
Don't worry.
But no, but it's mad because when you talk to someone that takes drugs and... Like I remember there was a conversation between these two guys. So one guy doesn't take drugs, and one guy he stopped taking drugs, and the other one continues to do it. Okay. And the guy that stopped taking drugs was eating sushi, and then the guy who's still taking drugs goes to him, "Raw, like, how are you putting that in your body?" And then the guy was like, "Are you serious? You're asking me how I put sushi in my body, but yet you're all right to inject this thing all over yourself?" And the guy was like, "Yeah, but still, I'm getting off of it, innit? I'm getting off of it." And it's like, it's your mentality, right? So you can give all the
to them,
all the foundations, but until they,
So what you said, it's a good point you made. So he didn't even consider himself and what he's doing.
No, it was
he wasn't self-aware enough. The addiction was so bad that he wasn't self-aware enough that there was a problem to begin with.
Yeah.
But again, with addiction and rehabilitation, the first thing they teach you is to
acknowledge it.
Acknowledge it.
Yeah.
So
how do you know?
I mean, you have to. It's always good to.
I think I saw you there once. Nah, joking.
You said we'd keep it. You said we'd keep it. You said we'd keep it.
No. Number one client.
But of course. Just to know, what is it exactly? Do you guys? You see when people come to you, and then.
So we work. So the organisation that I work with, we work with local boroughs.
Yeah.
So they will refer their young people, care leavers, right? Or we work with certain hostels as well and organisations. So they'll refer their young person just before they're about to move on to bid to get their own place.
So when they get their own place, do you guys still help them, or how does that work?
We don't personally, but I think we've got a service that works with them for the 6 months after that, just to ensure that they're implementing all the things that they have learned and stuff like that.
The reason why I asked that is when I was in a hostel, they did help us how to manage our money.
Yeah.
But they never asked us how we feel mentally. So we're talking about mental stress, right?
Yeah.
So they never actually asked us how we felt. Yeah. Nobody ever asked me how I am. Everybody knew I didn't have no parent, nothing. And I can guarantee you we had 4 girls and 4 guys. None of us had parents. But none of us asked, no one asked us how we felt. But all they cared about was how we behave in that building.
Yeah, but then that's what you have to remember. Different services have different responsibilities, right? That's the thing.
Yeah. And one of the made me curious to ask you, do you guys help them when you live or when they get their own houses? The moment I got my own place,
you were done. That's it, innit?
I was done. I had to figure it out myself.
Yeah.
You were left to yourself.
Yeah,
You just
it was.
they told you
Because
to get on with it.
yeah, there's a difference between you and a host. They were trying to tell you this is what you should do, what you should done. But by the time you got your own place, that's reality. You don't have to pay your bill.
I feel like it depends on the person, right? So like the key worker, the support worker, the personal advisor that you get, if they have a passion for helping, even after you've left the service, they will still reach out to you, right? Because they see sometimes, like I would do that personally.
As a social worker, you think going above and beyond.
Sometimes it depends on the person, right? Like if some people are naturally like that,
don't they?
Yeah, but then you always get attached, especially if there's someone that you can see the potential of growth, that they're making a change in their life.
Is that kind of dangerous? Because I'm sure to some point you don't want to get too
attached. You ain't getting attached to try and date them or something. Do you know what I mean? You're trying to get attached to help, innit?
Emotionally, if you get attached to every case emotionally, doesn't that make you...
So back in the day, I used to want to work for Border Force. Like,
oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie.
Dang.
But like Border Force, like, you know, Border Force, like Heathrow and stuff. But I said I couldn't.
Are you man good?
No, but you know why? But I said I couldn't because I'm an emotional person. And I guarantee you, if I see people coming and they're saying, oh, you know what, this happened, I tried to get over.
They look like you as well.
If they're from Ethiopia or Eritrea, I'm not gonna lie, bro. I'm stamping. I'm saying come in. So here you go, indefinite everything. And this is why I couldn't work. Do you know what I mean?
But you were self-aware enough to know.
Yeah.
You know
but then I worked for the NHS for 10 years, innit?
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna lie. I would be like, if people needed, prescriptions earlier, I'll be like, okay, cool. Get earlier, but not like, you know, oh, you need an appointment.
So you were like the prime, Amazon Prime of subscriptions back then.
No, but you know what I mean? It's like sometimes you have, if you're a compassionate person, which I am, you always want to go over and beyond for people, right? And this is what I'm saying. There are some people,
I mean, that's it within all of... you'd like.
Not everyone's got it though.
Not everyone's got it.
And that's the thing. You can see that even if you're a youth worker, whatever, you're working with young people. Just because you're doing it, some people are doing it for the paycheck.
Yeah.
Some people are doing it to make a difference.
Yeah, true. I feel like a lot of youth workers, they come from the same place as you, so they are trying to make a difference.
I mean, those are the ones that the kids are
going
really
over and beyond. You get it?
Yeah.
That's the ones that the kids will speak to. Cause if you had a problem about, how do I get out of a little situation, you probably know about it. Speak about it. They won't want to speak to the old the old person in the room. Innit?
Seraye, from your what kind of background or what sort of upbringing do you generally see that sort of the people that you work across?
I feel like just young people, care leavers. So we work with care leavers, right? So they're in foster care, whatever. They haven't had great backgrounds.
Right.
So you've got some people that are using that situation and making a change for their life.
Okay.
And then you've got some people that are just going into the cycle of repeating it. Right? So there's one girl who actually works in our organization, and her start of life, you saw it on BMT. Did you see it, Keely?
Yes, on BMT.
So
BMT
the
stories,
things that she went through.
Check it out.
Yeah, the things that she went through and the way she's turned her life around is mad. Like,
it's those sort of stories.
They're inspirational. And then if you see that person working in the field and they're sharing their life with you, and you're like, oh, we're coming from similar backgrounds, then why can't I do that? Why can't I be like that person? So
no, it's true. It's absolutely true, though. It's I think
Sam, he's being modest, man, but I'm sure in your line of work, you work with a lot of young people. Do you know what I mean? And I'm sure they look up to you as well. Like, it's not to say in some sense, but without even asking for it, you're almost being made to be put in that position. So it's kind of like, okay, now, it's from generational point of view, do you see a difference, like a gap?
No,
maybe we're not doing enough, or maybe they...
I spend time with young, old, they could be 50, 60, 70 to 16 to 15. And you know what it is? I think we're just human. We feel the same way at the end. It's not even about generation. It's how we feel. People go through a lot of problem, but it's how we communicate. And if we're going to talk about mental state, our surroundings is very, very important. Who we surround ourselves is a very, very important. Here we keep our friends.
Your
is
vibe
very
attracts
important.
your tribe.
Yeah, it's
big.
I like it. It's on the bio.
No, it's important. And what we don't realize is, as the older one got more responsibility than the younger one. Because if we go through a lot of stuff, it's our responsibility to teach the younger one.
Yeah, but can I ask you though, what about, we're of a different generation, me and you, Sam, innit? There's also holes and gaps that I see with friends around me where I think proper healing hasn't happened. Do you see what I
See,
mean?
healing is what we were talking about today.
I mean,
healing is real.
In a sense, it's like, how can we
what's
even
healing for
teach?
you? What's
You know what I mean?
healing? Because I always find this a bit difficult. What's
There's
healing?
things that our generation, that I see that I'm not fond of. Do you know what I mean? That you think, nah, come on, we need to do better. Do you know what I mean? I'm not to say it's individual.
I turn around
but-
right now. I go, do you know what?
Yeah.
Right or wrong, it's just my feeling. The generation now are soft.
What do you mean? What do you mean
I
soft?
think they're soft. Okay. What way is to me? You can't tell the new generation certain thing directly because they get too sensitive.
They can't take criticism.
They can't take criticism. Do you know what?
I thought you talk about soft.
Nah, man.
No,
Sam's
no,
gonna
no,
land
no.
it. He's the pilot. He always lands
Listen,
it.
let me tell you
El
something.
Captain,
You can't
bro.
tell people
Will
nowadays.
be proud.
Yeah, my guy Will, Jim Buddy. Yeah,
I hear you though, Sam. I
They're
hear you.
too sensitive and
I
they're
hear
too
you,
soft. You can't tell them. You know what? Sometimes you need someone to tell you what is wrong with you in order for you to understand.
To be
Yeah.
honest with you.
You know, sometimes if you don't understand what is wrong with you, how can you fix the problem?
But you have to be open to understand, right? There's no point in you telling me something.
110%.
I need to fix up something.
Yeah.
If I don't want to understand it, if I don't want to listen,
Exactly.
We're too negative. We have too much pride.
Yeah.
These youngsters, and you know what? I think it's hard to explain at the time, but they just don't like anybody telling them what to do.
It's pride, bro.
It's the pride takes over.
Because what
But
happens
you are
after
pride,
pride?
though.
Exactly. But this
you got
is
pride. You got pride.
yeah.
No, absolutely.
Sometimes you're wrong, but you will never accept that you're wrong.
110%. No, but there's a level. There's a level.
there's a term
level,
which
level, innit?
perfectly explains this: agree to disagree. This generation cannot agree to disagree.
I'll tell you one thing,
Let's
right?
be real.
No,
They
but
can't.
I'll tell you one thing, yeah. You see, when my elders speak to me,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I grew up with a generation. I don't speak them back. I listen.
Yeah,
right
yeah,
or wrong.
yeah.
I don't chat
Yeah, for
back.
that chat back,
I don't, listen,
you get clapped.
it's a natural respect I have, right or wrong.
It's true.
I don't
Yeah,
talk
yeah, yeah.
back.
Of course.
You get what I mean?
Even
So,
a decibel louder than
yeah,
something.
I
is
don't. Now
over for you.
kids, they'll tell you off. They you know what? It's
Relax. Why are you being so hyped for?
Yeah, they
Relax
it's-
yourself,
it's-
bruv.
I'll tell you a story. Yeah? About a year ago, I was in a bus with someone. I
story time,
I
story
got
time.
on the bus. No, honestly, this is a real story. I got on the bus, right? Me and this guy got on the bus. The bus was full. There was a kid sitting down on the bus, right?
Double decker.
Yeah, double decker.
set the scene.
The next bus stop, the bus stopped. An old woman came in with a bag, right? She walked in, tapped her oyster, and then the kid sat.
Okay.
I looked. I'm going crazy. I'm looking.
Were you standing?
I was standing already. I'm looking at the kids. My
Giving them the
yeah,
side.
brother, I'm looking at my vein here's tapping, bro. Yeah, I'm looking at the guy. Yeah, I'm looking at my brain's just telling me, son, relax, because you can see I'm getting angry. I'm like, listen, I grew up in a generation. Anyone's older than me,
Yeah, of course, you
female,
don't
male.
think
So did you
yeah.
say anything?
I can't help myself, can I?
No, it's good. That's what I'm saying, isn't it?
No, listen to the story. I looked to the guy. I said to the guy, I looked to the kid. I goes, what, you're not going to get up? He goes to me, he turned around and looked at me, a little midget thing. Well, I'm tired too.
I know.
He said that to you.
I'm tired
What
too.
did you say?
I said, I didn't know what to say. He got me off guard.
Yeah, you should have backtracked
Listen,
him,
no,
bro.
if it wasn't,
Fair
You know what I mean?
enough.
Listen, no,
So I'm saying Sam is from a generation where
Wait.
if it was back then,
I
traffic
would
would've
grab
been
the
alright.
kid and fling him.
But you keep saying Sam is from a
CCTV.
generation. Sam is
man.
40, babes.
No, it's not age.
No, but what I meant is, are we not the same generation?
Hitting
Yeah.
kids,
Are we
but
not the
hitting
same
kids back
generation?
then.
It's do you know what it
Kids
is?
back then. No,
People
no,
make
no,
it sound like it's old. People, I hate that.
No,
it's
but
moral.
I'm talking about we're the same generation.
we are.
Yeah,
But,
moral.
but the way he feels, like, he's like, "No, you're from a different generation. Like he's making you.
Don't you know? I'm married. He's looking for a younger wife. That's what it is. That's what it is.
We're from a different generation
Yeah,
over
that's what it
there.
Man, I do them things, man. I do them
That's what it
things.
is,
Nah. I
No,
ain't
but
got left, man.
Do you get what I mean?
No left, yeah.
We grew up.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even think about it twice. I would get up.
wouldn't, yeah.
Right.
100%.
So I
So the
looked at
brother
him.
looked at you.
He looked at me. He said, "Listen, I'm tired too.
Fair enough. Bro.
Listen, there's only
old
one
is
way
he?
can
How old
go."
is he?
He looked about 15.
Out of interest.
Right? If I grab him, it's a drama. Right? Do you know what the older woman goes to me? Don't worry about
What
it.
time was it? Was it free phone? Was it free phone? Yeah, you just come back from school allowed.
Where he was sitting all day.
You know what I mean?
Where he was sitting, what was he doing? You get me?
You might have PE for six
Listen, the pressure these kids go through.
They're saying adults don't do that now anyway. So
Yeah.
For example, if a kid's meant to learn from someone, and you're not saying
that's
if
true.
other people
Where
are
did you
doing
get
it,
that habit from?
Yeah.
It's true.
It's like when a pregnant girl comes on the train, innit? Everyone's like, books up, phones up, everything's up. No one's trying to stand up. Or they're falling asleep like this.
Hold on.
I'm not gonna lie, when I was pregnant, I was like this. I was like rubbing my belly, move out the way. Like, yeah,
So
because
hold on.
people don't want to move.
If that happened, all right. If that happened, you say a pregnant woman, nobody get. Would you not say anything?
I'd
What
get
can I
up.
say?
No, I'd
get up.
No,
I've been on the train. I'll tell to get up.
You lot say you get up, but would you? If you lot standing, Seraye's pregnant. She walked into the train station, right?
Yeah.
People is sitting down, right? Would
Well,
you look go? Yo, are you gonna get up or what?
I'll be like,
I'm not gonna force anyone to get up. If they don't get up, that's
I
them.
would.
I have. Do you know? I've gone on the train. I said, look, someone was
Yeah,
pregnant.
I
was
would.
like, and I've gone to that person. I said, do you want to sit down, babe? She was like, no, but no. I was like, don't watch that. And I was like, look, can you see she's pregnant? Can you get up? And they got up.
There you go.
They weren't saying nothing.
That's
Because
what's
as long as you
missing.
say it. Cheers to the empty cup. No, I'm good. I'm
You want a
good.
refill?
Nah.
How rude of us. This ain't
It's good.
a certain show.
This is what happens. If it was a female panelist,
I don't think we can
everything
say
would
the
be.
word of the show.
No, but going back what Mus said.
We don't have that plug in yet and that sponsorship.
Let's take it about what Mus said. Mus said it might not be about the kids. It might be who raised them.
It might be
So
raised
who
them,
raised you?
Yeah,
The
yeah.
question could be who raised
Yeah,
you.
my mama raised me good. You get me?
There you go.
Lots of respect.
I think it all goes back.
Mama,
That's crazy. I
What's the
went
song?
to-
What's the song, sorry?
I went to Norway. Hey, funny story. I went to Norway. Yeah.
I don't know. I never heard of it. Hanging like
Basically, I was on a bus I was going out on a bus now, and everyone's drinking. So on the bus, it's kids like my age drinking, innit? So they're drinking on the bus.
What were they drinking?
Alcohol, innit?
Okay.
But like, I'm gonna add to you, Oslo is expensive, innit? So
Yeah.
You don't buy rounds
Lamborghini,
in clubs,
WKD.
not in the clubs and stuff, innit? Like you do buy rounds, but you don't go crazy like you do here.
Yeah.
So everyone's pre-drinking before they go out.
Jeez,
So on the
them
bus now,
pre-drinks vibes, yeah.
everyone's drinking, and then an old lady come on the bus, and I go to her, you want to sit down? And then all the people in the group looked at me like, what are you doing? I go, what? You don't do this here. So some people just
They
don't do
looked
it.
at you like you're mad.
Yeah,
innit?
they looked at me like I
Oh,
was
are you in
mad.
another country?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they don't do that nowhere else. You know that.
Oslo.
Oslo, Norway.
Yeah.
But it's true because we do that here. Because I remember when I went States and I tried to do it, my cousin was like, what are you
What are you
doing?
doing? Yeah.
I was like, this is what we do in London. She's like, nah, we don't do that here. All right, cool. But
What? That's mad.
I was like this. I had a vodka bottle in my hand. I'm like, do I get up? What am I doing? I just got up anyway.
His morals.
Did
were
she
like
say
split
yes?
into-
Who?
did she say yes?
Of course, I'm sure she
No,
did.
you
Yeah,
smart.
she
She
sat on
might
my-
have
she
got
sat on
shook,
my-
innit?
yeah, she sat on my seat.
Yeah.
Okay. She might be like,
I
oh,
got up and
everyone's
everyone looked at
drinking.
me like, what are you doing that? I'm like, no.
Don't question, you know what I mean?
Yo.
And it's mad. It's,
No, but some people just don't like. No.
you see how in that moment they made him look like the man?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
crazy.
I was
But
remember
that's
that story. It's
society-
mad, you know.
That society as a whole, don't you feel, does that to individuals where they may genuinely come out with stuff or they say stuff, they do stuff in the public. There's certain celebs that, the obvious ones that are a bit mad in it that we can say, people are quick to say they're mad, but maybe they're just outspoken. Maybe.
But what's
weird.
what's your definition of madness, right?
There you go. But remember, geniuses were always called mad in the beginning
Yeah.
before they were
Innit?
geniuses. So yeah.
Who would you think?
Albert Einstein.
Okay, I
Real.
understand.
You get me?
I thought he was gonna say I don't know
But
Kanye
as
West.
a general thing, geniuses don't just become geniuses overnight.
Yeah.
Maybe mathematicians, yeah. But, I mean, their theories and what they believe in and whatever it is they're trying to preach is always taken in as madness in the beginning. Like, what the hell? Because there's nothing to compare.
I think we
to.
call madness something we don't understand.
We wrap it up.
Yeah,
If you
that's
don't
what I thought,
understand
That's what it
the
is.
theory,
We just don't understand it.
Jeez, we're dropping gems today, you know. on one level.
You're welcome again.
But for real, that is so it's a very satisfying line of work by it sounds of it by what you
Yeah,
do.
yeah,
So
100%.
you go
And
home at
I'm-
the end of the day and feel like, you know what, I feel like I made a difference. It
Nah,
was
I
rewarding.
feel like I want to do
Really.
more. Yeah. That's why I'm studying
Do
to
you think
become
more
a
should be
youth
done?
worker, like a mentor.
So more should be done.
100%.
Leaders
100%. I feel like there's so many things, so much more that could be done for the youth.
Do you think we were talking about this before we recorded? But Sam, you mentioned. But I think we touched. Did we say youth clubs?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Youth clubs,
yeah,
didn't we?
yeah. I think
I used to be a youth
But
worker as well.
I
Oh,
don't
is
know,
it?
man. For
And
me,
how
it was
did
a
you
huge-
find it?
It was a huge gap.
No, I like it, man.
Yeah.
I did it because the youth worker above, like my two youth workers were the best, man.
Okay.
They were sick. Whenever we needed something, guys,
And think how
Don't
often
do
did
that.
you, how often did you go to the youth club? Think about that as well.
whenever it was on.
There you go.
And then the whole summer, and they book out your whole summer, whenever you want.
Yeah.
It was good, man. You know what? Listen, it kept us off the street.
youth
There's
club's the
there's
best
two
Yeah,
ways.
yeah, yeah.
You either
hit the nail on the head there. You see that?
you either be like you either chill on the streets and do nothing.
go.
When you do nothing, you just grab to stupid stuff. Or you can do activities
idle time,
like
innit?
go karting, or
Yeah.
or the
Jeez,
summer
we went
everything.
Fort Park, we went youth club. We
Youth
did all of
clubs are the
that.
best.
They gave us they kept us active. They gave us like free swimming
Let me
passes
can I
the
ask you a
whole month.
question though? 'Cause so you had these two good youth
Yeah,
workers
that's what
that
made
made
us- yeah.
that made an that they gave you a good vibe and stuff. Impression, that's
Yeah.
it. And then you became a youth worker.
Yeah.
So did you implement what they done for you onto your
Oh no,
Same
young
methods,
people?
you mean?
Yeah.
It's a very good question. Maybe we should have you.
Yeah,
more
but
often.
maybe I tweaked it a little bit because as I became an adult, the young kids were going through things different than us. to
Yeah,
me,
yeah,
innit?
yeah,
So you
yeah.
have to tweak a little bit things here and there. But yeah,
Yeah.
It's a
I
transition.
didn't try to copy them at everything they did.
Yeah,
but I
you're
just
not
had-
copying
I
them, but-
I had my own spin to it. But I used the same method, man.
So do you think like some of the young people that you've worked with,
Yeah.
if they were given the opportunity to become a youth worker, they'll be like, oh, you know what?
I
Muslim's
think
good,
you know what's
though.
crazy though. There's probably that.
Are they
there's-
really,
I think I don't know if he is.
Yeah, okay,
but he
yeah.
should have been it. He
Oh,
was
okay.
sick. Like yeah.
Yeah.
But he's doing, and then the youth club that he was going to, they're setting him up with so many things.
Yeah.
Like starting their own projects, got his own got a sick bike project that he's doing right now.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Sick,
really
yeah,
good.
man.
very
You know what? They gave them an opportunity.
Yeah.
That's what it is though. When we were
Yeah.
like giving
It's
opportunity,
opportunity.
is the best thing.
Youth
Do you
club is the
think-
best.
Do you think
It's beyond.
It's beyond. It
Yeah, of
leaves a
course.
massive.
But also
gap.
right now it might be a bit techie because if gang beefs right now, if they're so close to home now, so imagine you put a youth club right in the middle of that,
Yeah.
unless you got someone to stop what they're doing and stop them beefing, if some people from this gang is in the youth club,
Yeah.
they're
That's it,
easy
yeah,
target.
yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So now it's a bit more hard where someone's not going to travel an hour or 30 minutes to go and see the ops in it, but now it's 5 minutes down the road.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say to you? Like
yeah.
it's so close to home. It's ridiculous. But yeah, it'd be harder now. But yeah, I don't know what the
Yeah.
next step is for that. But
I'm always gonna root for youth club because you know what, youth club took me out from. If I got a problem at home, I go to youth club.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? To
It's
you?
not a coincidence,
It
right?
does
That
everything.
It was a mini community.
Yeah.
that crime went up
It's-
when
it's-
youth clubs started dying off.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah,
a coincidence.
of course.
Do you know what I mean? That is not a coincidence. Let's be real.
of course,
And the thing is, the government knows this, but still, it's their way of power.
It's
innit?
that
That's-
elephant
yeah.
in the room that they can't get rid of themselves.
Yeah.
Because they know when they look at crime, ultimately, especially with young people, like especially with all the stabbings and the fact that, you know, the publicity it gets now compared to back in the day, you never got this publicity.
100%.
There was always stabbings. Do you know what
Yeah,
I'm saying
yeah.
to you?
but not
But my point-
not to this extreme though. 'cause
Not
I
to the,
think-
of
yeah,
course.
this
Yeah,
extreme-
yeah, yeah. That's
this
what I'm saying.
last
Not
1-2
to disregard
years.
the volumes
Yeah.
now
Yeah,
because
the
it's
volume-
crazy.
But what
And
are
the
you
fact that-
expecting when you close the youth club?
Yeah,
What are you
that's the
expecting?
thing.
No,
That's what I'm
Sam.
saying.
Yo, Sam, that's a
Ridiculous,
big
yeah.
factor.
Of course,
But
it's a
there's
huge
also
factor.
there's
It's a
also
huge
no, there's
factor,
also
bro.
other factors. But
Bro,
that's
we
the
used to
main
get,
one.
you see the youth clubs
That was the main
the
one.
youth club I went to, bro, used to get some troublesome youths, bro. After 6 weeks, if they find something to do, they get their mind taken away from stuff that's troublesome. Do you know
Yeah,
what I
yeah.
mean? It's the little things that
You-
take them
you-
away from that life.
Youth club, do you know what it was?
Yeah.
I've seen kids at youth club, right? Their parent didn't have enough money to give them food. They used to come to youth club, have
yeah.
lunch. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
so
yeah.
it's
No, I'm
where
good, babe, I'm good, thank you.
youth club help a lot of people, not just mentally, emotionally, but even when it comes to food. I've seen it with my own eyes. You spend on a weekend, you have your lunch, your snack, a youth club.
But you see, that's again what Mus was saying about funding, right? Because
Exactly.
who's
Yeah,
funding
yeah,
that?
there's money for that.
Unless people from the community
Sam,
are
you need money
giving.
for that.
But they
Sending
need
us
it as
to-
well.
But we had free access to a swimming pool the whole summer. You know how deep that
Really?
is? Yeah. Know how deep that is?
What kind of youth club you went, brother?
you went
Do you know
a
how
good
deep that
one.
is, Sam? No, you know what's going to
Plug it, you can plug it.
No, not anymore. That.
Not anymore,
It's
that's
back
the
to my house.
thing.
But the whole summer, so they basically they said to us, guys, just keep fit because we had we had our own little football team. They go keep fit, guys. Whatever. Whenever you lot are bored, instead of doing nothing, all go swimming pool together and do it. But with the whole summer, we
There
had
was money on
that's-
deck
that's-
then. You
that's-
know what I mean? There must have been
Funding was
moolah on
real.
deck.
I lived that youth club. Do you know what I lived? My youth clubs. I always remembered in the summertime, girls doing dance over there.
Yeah, we did a
Yeah.
we did a dance.
I tried break dance. I tried break dance.
Guys playing table tennis over there.
Yep.
And,
Pool.
and guess what? Somehow you run a certain time to watch Fresh Prince ballet. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So
Ballet.
Yeah, there's a studio in us where everyone used to play music.
Okay, yeah, Bel-Air's a drink. Trying to plug the drink, trying to get a sponsor.
try to help you, bro. Yeah. So that's my like
Yeah.
what I had of youth club.
When you think, that's what I'm saying, look how, like, imagine the younger lots are listening to this now thinking, what the hell
Yeah,
is all
it's
of
a
this?
myth, what you talking
But
about,
also,
innit?
yeah,
What
you- also, I remember now, but then we used to do other things like to get the funding. So we used to go out to the local area,
Fundraisers.
plant the tree,
Yeah,
plant
yeah,
the little
yeah.
seeds to get the funding. But
Yeah,
at the end of
honestly.
it was good.
Yeah. On the sly, I think we did do community service.
Yeah, we did.
We did do community service on
for
the
me.
sly, innit? We were less aware. Yeah.
No, what's happening?
I don't know. What's happening?
Your mic was low.
we good?
Oh my
we
God,
good?
that's what I was saying.
You said put your mic up.
Mic up. All right, my bro. Mic up.
I hope
Yeah.
the kids will eventually get to see the good life of youth.
I think youth club is gone, but you know what? Sometimes
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
bringing back what is gone. I
Oh,
think,
but then you can make it
what
better.
can you do from now on
to make it better.
to make it better?
But also, yeah, I would, if I was to do something like that now, I would somehow relate it to tech. I'll get these.
can I be honest with you?
I'll get people coming in,
Yeah.
learning how to code, to edit, to feel anything like that from the way forward. I guarantee you, it will be a great way for going forward.
I go on. Sorry, Sam.
No, because you know what it is.
Go on.
I've looked at it and I've seen kids that are. You've seen it around 15, 16, not even 15, 12, 13, 14.
15 and a half.
Yeah, going around stabbing kids, right? And other kids. I think if we had youth club,
Yeah.
right, that would never happen.
I think it will still happen.
No, there was still madness
I
in
think
youth
it will still
clubs.
happen.
There was still madness.
I think it will still
believe-
happen, but I think there'll be less people involved.
Less or not, but I don't think it would be to where it is right now,
Yeah.
right? That's where it is.
There is one way to solve this, I think, and this is long overdue, and they should have done this already. I think the curriculum, if you look at the curriculum as a whole, right, in schools, right, instead of learning, don't get me wrong, algebra, oh yeah, all right, cool. I mean, cool. At some point, maybe you
Why is
got
it
to do
cool?
accounts,
It's not cool,
whatever.
bro.
You might use it. I'm
It's not
saying,
cool, that.
but
Bro,
what they,
bro,
but
they
what
don't
they
teach you
should be,
nothing.
but what they should
What
be.
did you take from school?
Let me land it. That's what I'm saying. Let me land it.
Let him land, babe.
What I was getting at was in agreement with you anyway, Sam. That the fact that there should be a lesson in itself. Like one, there should be a lesson in itself. You're not going to agree with this, but sex education, right?
It depends on
It
what
depends-
kind of.
it depends on
because
what
they do
kind.
sex education, right? But it depends on what
but
what they're trying
I
to
don't
enforce
disagree
now.
with the fact that it starts at home. I agree. It should always start at home. Sex education for me, I think.
It
But
depends on the
curriculum
age,
as a
bruv.
whole,
Like they're trying to implement it at
Yeah.
4 years old. That's too
it's
young.
mad. But not to go left anyway. But what I was trying to get at was with the whole life skills and everything else that comes with it. Like when we went to school, we learned cooking, right? We learned
Yeah.
cooking, all of that. We learned, what was the other one? Design technology.
Yeah,
innit?
design technology is
Yeah.
not even needed.
Okay, all of this is fine, whatever. If you're going to chop wood in the middle of Yorkshire somewhere, whatever, right? But
It's always
life
Yorkshire.
skills that you should be learning is, for example, how to do your money, how to handle your
Yeah. Money
finances.
management is needed.
What are the best accounts to open when you go to uni? What uni should be looking at? What subjects should you be going into? What industries are booming? E-commerce, all of that,
Yeah.
the digital era. That is what should be in the curriculum in itself. Because
but-
that is going to
But then if it's not in the curriculum itself, but then
Do you know what I mean?
then
But
you can
everyone
start-
knows this.
Then you can start your.
Yeah.
Then you can get people to start. Their
That's why coding is big now. Yeah, coding
Yeah.
is massive.
You can get people to start to go to that. Let people go to different seminars to see all these stuff. So if it's not in the curriculum,
But it should
you
be in the
could,
curriculum.
No, but I know. But if they're not put in the curriculum, you can always send people the right way on to go
How?
into certain semesters. All you have to do is Google semesters about, not semesters. I mean like sessions when people walk in. What's that called anyway? When people speak on
Like a seminar,
a seminar.
Yeah,
that's
but
right.
how many of
What
those
did I
do
say
they
right
do,
now?
bro?
semester.
That's a semester. That's a
I will
whole
go
school
with it.
season, isn't it?
Anyway, you get that anyway.
Yeah.
No,
we
we'll
didn't-
go that.
That stayed in. That stayed in.
All right, guys.
That stayed in. That stayed in.
We've done well.
Yeah.
Before
Anyways,
we go,
yeah.
beful we go.
Oh, Muslim.
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 I think you can Google this.
But if you don't know what to Google, how can you Google it, right?
no, but if you
Sometimes you
want,
need that guidance, and that's what the essence is. What he's saying as well with the whole curriculum, because when you're in school, you're in there 6-7 hours a day, right? You're getting that guidance from there.
You're spending a large chunk of
Yeah.
your life in there,
Yeah.
my friend. More than you would do at home.
Will
If
you
you
listen
actually
to
look at
classes
it.
I
though?
did.
Yeah.
You get it? They know that. So if someone comes out of life and got nothing to do and he wants to get into something, then if you send him to the right place, he can learn it.
Yeah,
You don't
and
need
that's
to-
where
you don't need
youth
to-
workers,
sending
and
them
that's
to the
where
right
youth
place? That's
workers
the thing,
bridge
innit?
the gap.
Yeah.
Youth workers
Who's
used to
sending
bridge
them
that
to the
gap.
right place? You get
They
me?
used to bridge that gap. Youth
Yeah.
workers.
Yeah,
But
there you go.
there you go.
So, but who's doing it now?
There is
You
it.
can create something.
Cool.
2021.
I think the creative space. is
What
where-
was
wait,
it?
wait, wait,
Was
wait.
it
For young people.
2021?
2001?
Yeah, 2021. It's right. It's the same. You said the right thing. I did hear what you said.
I'm gonna walk off.
Stay.
No
We're
more
almost
coffee,
there.
innit?
Yeah. Soraya, it's been lovely having you.
Thank you for having me.
And
I've
you've been
enjoyed
amazing. Thank you for coming on. And listen, pop by. Don't be a stranger.
I will come knocking.
We need to talk about colour coordination next time we're here, Sam, because you never got a heads up. But you look amazing nonetheless.
Call me.
Thank you.
We were one colour away, people, like I said, from being a complete set of Teletubbies. Sam, anyone else want to add anything? Are we plugging anything? What are we doing? How are we feeling?
I'm not speaking anymore, man.
Are we confident about this near tier 4 stuff? Or
No.
should we just leave it at that?
No.
I don't think we have time to talk about it. Just lock down in
in
it.
it for real, yeah. As people don't as usual, people don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. And yeah, Soraya, do you have anything that you want to plug? Where can they follow you? Where can they see your
Soraya
work?
Ethiopia on
Soraya,
Instagram.
she's got an
There you go.
OnlyFans page.
We're gonna put that.
Do not. Don't lie.
Defend yourself.
It's
before we
such a
go.
waste,
Right,
man.
that's it. On that note, end it. Cool. Peace.
I got